Premonitions or visions? What am I having?
Actually, that's a really good question, and I think a lot of people get confused about the two, but I want to first thank you for joining us. I am here in the house with Sharon, and we are doing a couple of videos. She doesn't like to be on the video, just so you know. It's okay, but she's got some amazing questions, and so our question today is visions or premonitions. What is the difference? So a premonition is something that's going to happen in the future. Now, so does a vision in a perspective. Usually a vision is something that's going to happen within a short amount of time. 24 hours, 48 hours, 36 hours, like a short period of window and everything else. A premonition is going to be something that's going to happen years from now. And 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or something like that, like further out. Anywhere over a year, I would say would be more like a premonition. Anything kind of like a few hours or a week or so would be more like a vision.
Okay, so years ago, well, and over the past, I don't know, maybe a couple of decades, when there was a hurricane coming our way, I always knew about a week before. So in that case,
you were having a vision.
I was having a vision. And those visions come from my angels and guides?
That vision comes from your angels and guides through your intuition.
Okay.
That's the vehicle that they're using to kind of give you an idea. And sometimes when people have visions like that, they'll have a vision like, this is one where I need to evacuate. Like, out of all the other hurricanes I haven't evacuated, this is the one like I got to go. And then other times you'll get a vision where it's like, it's not going to be a big deal.
Right. And that's been the case in most of them, and luckily I've never had you got to evacuate and get out, but it was more be prepared. And kind of strangely, you need to go buy a generator, okay? And that thought will keep coming up in my mind over and
that's
over
your
again.
Angels and guides kind of kicking you in the head going, you got to do this. You got to do this. You need to make plans to correct this or deal with this in some way, shape, or form. And it's one of those, usually when you get those premonitions, it's time to start being in action. And even, I think that's kind of the cool part about it. It's like, you need to be in action about it. Even if it's a vision or a premonition, either one, you need to be in action about it. And what is your action is up to you and what you're seeing.
Right, right. And sometimes they're very specific about things like before it was the generator, and before other things it was the rolling room air conditioner. So it's just weird how specific it can be. And so they're really telling me, this is what you need to do to prepare for this. You can survive, you can be okay, but if you have these extra items,
you're going to be comfortable.
Okay, great.
And so that's kind of the interesting part about it. Sometimes everybody gets different ones at different times, and I will tell you, more often than not, when you are listening to them and you're in action about fixing or changing or modifying or whatever it is, you're going to be better off. Your angels and guides always have your best interest at heart.
When you have premonitions, should you share them with other people, or you have to be selective about who you share them with?
I do think you really need to share them with certain people, like people that have like-mindedness and stuff like that. So when I have premonitions, and sometimes I've had political premonitions, and so like unless the person is on the same thinking that I am, I'm not going to share that premonition with them. If someone is not in the right energy or doesn't have premonitions on their own, I'm probably not going to share it with them because they're not going to understand it.
Right.
Like, in 5 years this is going to happen.
Well, and when you have a vision and it's further out, how will your guides tell you how you should deal with it, or
not necessarily how to deal with it, because that's up to you.
Okay.
They're going to tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
More like, heads up, this is happening. And I think of kind of like the big sign on the freeway, like there's an accident ahead.
Right.
How are you going to deal with this? How are you going to work around the traffic? How are you going to get to wherever you need to be? So that's kind of the interesting part, is you have to kind of figure out what you're going to do to this reaction.
Got it. And I mean, if you have instinct, psychic abilities, any kind of abilities, can you have both visions and premonitions, or is you just maybe predisposed more? Like I don't ever think I've had a vision because you're talking something that's going to happen further in the future. Mine have always been
premonitions are further in the future. Visions are short term.
Oh, I got it backward.
You got it backwards.
Sorry.
So a premonition is something that's happening in the future,
Okay.
a year out or more.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
Or I would even say like 6 months from where you are. Like it's further out.
Okay.
A vision is something like almost you could be seeing it with your eyes at that time. Like in the next 24 hours, this is going to happen. In the next 36 hours or 40, you know what I'm saying? Like a short period of time. I would say less than a week, it's coming through.
So when you have the premonition that's further out, sorry to get that wrong, how do you know why you're getting that premonition?
Because in some way, shape, or form, your energy can either make this better or worse.
Okay. So you've told me about a few visions you had in the past. How did you handle it? One of them you did have, which I will be happy to tell people that did 100% come true, is you saw President Trump back in office when he lost the election back in 2020. Now, was there any action that you needed to take on that? Or you just there was? Okay, can you tell me about that?
So, one of the things that I saw was him coming back into office. And so, from the time that I saw that, I was like, is this the energy that I want in the office? I had to literally do a deep dive into me. Is this the person I want in that office? Yes or no? And then every time, like, I would pray for him, pray for his staff, his family, his friends, all that kind of stuff, like sending positive energy in that area. So my energy could have, in some small way, helped him get back into office.
Well, and there's such a thing as collective energy as well.
Right. So I'm not the only one who's praying for him. Right. There are other people, so that all comes in together. Or, and that's kind of the energy of it. So you kind of like, where is the energy in all of this? How is this going to affect us? How is this not going to affect us? And I don't think he's like the perfect person to lead us forever. No, not in everything else. Yet I understood what was about to happen coming in this election, the truth that had to come out, and everybody else was hiding the truth, and they were doing everything they could do. It's almost like whack-a-mole. Like, I don't want this truth to come out, and I'm like, I want the truth to come out. I've been praying for the truth to come out for years. And so I was like, I want the truth to come out, because like almost every president for the last 20 or 30 years have been like, I'm going to balance the budget. Never happened. We're going to go through the line items, and we're going to fix things, or we're going to do this, or we're going to change this, or we're going to modify this, and it never happens. And it's like, we need someone in there that is going to do what they said they were going to do.
Correct.
And that's what he's done.
Well, and I was one of those people that put out that same energy.
And so that's part of it. Is like, but I would say, do you think he's going to win the next, go into he's not going to be in office again.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? He can't, but it's one of those, but like that energy of the truth coming forward.
And we need more truth in this world, that's for sure.
We need more truth because, and I do feel like there are still more changes that he's going to make. And he's not only made changes in the United States, he's also changed things globally. And not everybody likes all of it. And I'm like, but I understand. To me, it's like when you're cleaning out the closet, you get to some point and you're like, dear God, why did I start this? Like, this is just a holy mess. I get it in some ways, but it's one of those, you're not going to make every person happy every time. But one of the things I've prayed for is a president that would come in with truth and fix things. And he's done that in a lot of ways. Good, bad, or indifferent, he's changed a lot of truth in that area.
So when the premonitions come, it's more about praying and understanding what you're receiving, and then doing something about it by praying.
Right.
And energy.
And there could be some things that you could physically do. You know what I'm saying? Like you could put a sign in his yard. You could go to rallies or whatever else. Like there's other things that you could do to to push that energy forward. So that's kind of like, ta-da! What are we gonna do?
Okay. Well, that clears that up.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.